It has been said that there are over 2,000 scriptures in the Bible as it relates to money. Yet we hear so much negativity as it surrounds money, conversations about how money is bad. And if people are wealthy, then something must be wrong. They must be doing something evil if they've gotten billions or millions of dollars, even. Is that true? Is money something ugly and nasty? Is it something that God wants us to have? If so, then how does He want us to obtain it? I mean, is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? We're here for round two on money matters or your emotional or psychological attachment to money, however you will view it today. I'm DrFaye, and joining me today is again my fabulous co host, Regina Gulbinas, our business and life strategist, Leila Khan, our life coach and author, and Sonya Williams, our beauty and body and health consultant. And I want you folks that are watching to begin now. If you're watching via social media, do us a favor. Go ahead and share it with your friends and family because this is going to be an informative, educational, and certainly an empowering show today here on Lighten Up. So yay, co-hosts, welcome back to the show. I'm so glad you guys are here today. And we had a week off. Sometimes we just have to take a week off to catch up. You guys keep us busy out there. And so we appreciate that. Keep us busy, keep us going. But today we have to stop and come back and share with you our thoughts and our education and the things that we've learned just through life experiences, what money really does and what it can do for people who don't have any and would like to get some. And there's some tips and information inside of this show today that will help you get started to building a life of wealth. So who's first today?
We'll jump in. I'll jump in. Yeah, the conversation that we had, the previous session, was amazing. There was just like so much really good feedback. And I know for sure that the week after and so on, I sat with so much of the content that we talked about. And I was just remembering everything that was, said and so on. So yeah, so money matters. I think money, I've always felt like this love and gratitude and appreciation for money, for what it can do and for what it allows us to do. And I'm just really passionate about the fact that when good people make money, we do good things with money, right? Mm-hmm. And what that says to me is that it's all about intention. There are people out there who make loads and loads of money and their intention is not good. Their intentions are not divine. Their intentions are actually not to serve people and serve humanity with integrity and in alignment to our well-being and to our wellness. And, we can see that playing out in the world at this current time, right? And so I think it's really, really important that we empower women in particular and that we empower men to understand the true virtues of money, but also sharing that money and sharing wealth and building wealth with integrity and well-being at the forefront.
Yeah. I like that term well-being because it means that that's a wholeness word. When I think of well-being, spirit, soul, and body, that there is a connected component. There is a connection to the whole. In 3 John 2, he says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers." The soul is the house for the mind, the will, the emotions, the intellect, and the desires. So man is not just a one-part being, it's a tripart being. There are many pieces to us, and that wholeness comes from understanding that all of things must work together for the good. There's a scripture that says all things work together for the good for them that love the Lord, for them that are the called according to his purpose. That means every piece need to fit. Our money piece need to fit. We focus so much on our health piece, our relationship piece. We've had so many conversations, not just here, but globally. There have been so many conversations about relationships and families and all of that, how to get those pieces working. Today in this marketplace, we have a new focus and a new energy toward money. that we haven't had before. Really, I haven't had before, because since June of this year, God has said that we are in a 7-year wealth transfer period. And I heard that so loud in my spirit. And I've been telling people, I've been on this platform and this mission of telling people that it's time to position ourselves for this massive wealth transfer, unlike anything we've ever known. Ladies, you remember the show we did on the perfect storm? Matter of fact, how many shows did we do on the perfect storm? And we did some shows on knowing your calling, so that people can get reawakened to a new normal, because the old order has passed away and it's time to establish ourselves in this new earth, because that's what we have now. Is a new earth, is a new place to put our feet in, so that we can begin to grow from that place. So it is very important that we align ourselves with people of like mind who understand that money is not evil. It is the heart of people that's evil, you know? And those hearts, not everybody has a good heart. And we have to be honest, they don't. But people, good people who have the heart that want to do good with whatever they have, will do good with money. Money is an extension of your heart condition. So if you've got evil in your heart, you're going to do evil with money. You're just going to do evil with it. But if goodness is in you, if God is in you, you will find ways to do good. And so that's our conversation, ladies and gentlemen, today. We want to help you find the place where you can begin to grow in this area that God has called you to. And he has certainly called many people to the area where they can be recipients of money and be channels that he can flow through in order to do good.
You know, Dr. Faye, when you're speaking, and Leila, I was thinking about, I get excited about money, and I couldn't have said that years ago, because I didn't have that mindset, Leila. Unlike you, maybe I wasn't grateful for the money that I had, but I worked. There was striving with money, and I've come to a place in my life now that I get excited about money. No, not to do evil with money, but because I know I'm being blessed to be a blessing. That money allows so many doors to be open where you can bless others. It allows choices. It gives you a choice. If you want to sow somewhere, you can do that. If you want to do good for an organization, you can do that. It allows you to do that. So the way that, that sometimes it's money is seen or it's perceived as being evil, and it's not money itself, it's the love of money. When we make anything other than God first place in our lives, whatever that would be, it can be your job, it can be your kids, your spouse, whatever, it doesn't make a difference, but you've made that an idol. So it's the love of money that is the root of all evil. It's not money itself. And so I feel good now. I get excited about that because I know it allows different choices in my life, and I'm sure for you ladies too, your lives. And so that's what we should be excited about, is we can do good with that money. We're in the world, but not of the world. And we're living in a world with, money, that is that's something that we can use for different ways, for different avenues in our lives. So I get excited about it because I know that it's for the goodness of God, what I want to do with that money, how I want to utilize and use that money. That's what's important for me.
Here's the thing though, with a lot of the people or companies that make a lot of money but don't use it for good, what they're actually doing is they're perpetuating this poverty cycle and this programming of poverty. And after our last session, I came across some amazing words which I wrote down to talk about, which are boundaries and victimhood, or boundaries around victimhood. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, that's really, really powerful, right? Because
what did you say? Boundaries around victimhood?
Yeah, boundaries around victimhood, and then I added the poverty as well. And so I think the idea is this, that if we have this idea that we have to play small and that we cannot be resourceful and that we are a victim because of money, then we haven't got the right boundaries or the right picture or the right understanding about money and our own abundance.
Right.
Yeah. So our own abundance is that God created us resourceful. God gave us all of our needs. God gave us all of our needs met. God gave us the skills, the talents, the abilities to go forth and to use our talents, through our businesses, through our lives, to do well, right? To be an asset in this world. And so, and to not play small. That's another thing, right? To not play small.
Right.
So if abundance is all of that, abundance is us being resourceful, being creative, being excited, being grateful, being happy, living our talents and using them. That's abundance, right? But if we have this idea of victimhood and we feel like I can't be resourceful, I can't make money, I can only work in a job which has X amount for a minimum wage, money's always taken away from me, people steal from me, then those boundaries have got very skewed, have got a bit mixed up. And so it's something to really look at, like what are our boundaries around not showing up and not playing out full out and not really shining in God's light. I know there's a lot there. There's definitely a lot there, but those words together, I was just like, whoa, mind blown for another level of money conversation.
Yeah. But those boundaries are preset. They're preset by, and I think you mentioned that, Leila. They're actually preset by the people who were the people who grew us, the people who raised us, grew us like we were vegetables. But the people who raised us, whether it's our teachers, our parents, grandparents, whatever, this generational, I call it generational curses that are passed on rather than generational blessings, because it works against us rather than for us. Dr. Ruben West has something it calls your inner critic. I forgot the dire name. I hope he didn't hear that. But, you're dealing with that, whatever, frame your world and frame your thinking, moving past those ideals. And I remember several years ago, there's a message floating out there somewhere in the ebook that I've done called Reframe Your Words, Reframe Your World. Because if we have the mind that we don't deserve, we're not worthy of it, then we repel the very blessings that God intends for us to have. If we don't know that we are worthy, that through the blood of Jesus, he has made us worthy. He gave his life so that we can have life and life more abundantly. And many people look at it as, well, Jesus came and died on the cross so that we could die and go to heaven. My take is this: that's true, but don't forget the other piece. Jesus came and died on the cross so that we can be in heaven now, so that we can manifest what heaven is as he is in heaven, so it is in earth. In Matthew 6, whatever's going on in heaven should be going on in our earth. Earth is me. And so we in the land are one. So he wants to activate that. Here's the thing that we must come to know if we're going to live the whole life, the wholeness life, the being that you were talking about, that we're going to have that well-being or being well in every area of life, is that we must come to know that it is the Father's pleasure. It is God's pleasure to bless us. It is God's pleasure that we prosper. He delights in the prosperity of his servants. That's scripture. God gets happy when we're blessed. He gets happy when Regina gets paid. He gets happy when Sonya gets paid, when Leila gets paid. And darlings, listen, he gets happy when you get paid. And because he wants to bless your life and not keep you in some bondage in this box that you feel deprived and it's their fault. I can't prosper because somebody else won't let me. No, you're the only person that can push yourself forward. You're the only person that can stop yourself. You must make a decision. Back to Sonya. You must make a decision, a choice to move past those preconceived boundaries. Because look, your parents cannot control you now. Your grandparents can't control you. You can have a shift. And Regina, you do a lot of Facebook Lives on helping people to shift and telling people that it's okay to sell stuff, to sell their products. It's not just sell stuff. You sell your products and services that are good and that are helping people to build lives. When you build a business, Regina, you're helping people to build their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, at first, a few points. First of all, I believe God gives us all a certain set of gifts, right? Mm-hmm. We're not allowed to withhold them. So how do you use them? You serve others. I package my gifts and I sell and people actually benefit massively from them. Like they get back much more than they actually pay me. But I also give a lot of free content away. But I feel the point is you have a responsibility to serve people, but we can't do everything for free, right? That's just not how life works. That's not how the world works.
Right.
So I tell people, your responsibility is to serve every day. That's your responsibility to the people. And responsibility to yourself is to sell every day. Then it's a complete package. Then you're not just selling and you're not just serving. You found a good equal balance. But also going back to the wiring of people that Dr. Faye, I think you and Leila were discussing, where it's given to us from people in our life. I don't think we realize that two things. Number one, most of our limiting beliefs are not even ours. They belong to somebody else. Those people give them to us, and we think, okay, well, I'll embrace it as my own. So I've challenged people before, write a list of all of your limiting beliefs when it comes to money, even, for example, and you will see that 90% of them, you'll be able to attach a name of the person they belong to. They're not even ours to begin with. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's very important because when you can shed 90% of stuff and realize it's not yours, you begin to breathe and you feel free again to do whatever it is you're supposed to do. And number two, in respect to that is, people can only tell us what's on the inside of them. Meaning, if they believe that they can't succeed, they can't make money, everything is a struggle, that's the best that they're going to advise you on. I tell people all the time, if you're trying to grow a business, don't ask somebody who's perfectly happy being an 8-to-5 employee. Whereas there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that's not somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur. Of course, they're going to tell you it's a horrible idea. Why would they tell you otherwise? Because it's a horrible idea to them. So when people tell you, when you can't make money, when you can't succeed, when you can't whatever, fill in the blank, you have to be very aware of the fact that all they're saying is that not you can't do it. They're just telling you, I don't think I can do it.
Right.
So, and we listen to them and say, you're right. I don't think I can get it done. It's horrible. So we allow other people really to, listen, everything impacts our money. Our money is not a separate item, right? Money is just a byproduct of how well we serve others. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You need to get people that are willing to give you money for what you're offering. If your stuff is good, if it provides value, if it provides transformation, a good end result, people will pay you for that. So money is not a separate, but you're right, we feel shame about money because we feel like we have to justify why we're worthy having a lot of it or making a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think in my life, because I've worked extremely hard, nothing was ever handed to me. I never really felt personally like I have to justify it because, like I said, I know what it's like not to sleep at night. I know what it's like to miss my daughter's recitals. I know what it's like to skip meals one after another because I had to work, take care of my clients. So I don't feel shame around it, but in general, we do because people shame us for it. But there's nothing wrong with having money. And Leila said it perfectly. Money is a tool. It's how you use it. I just feel that like in anything in life, a few bad apples will poison the rest of the harvest, right? So there may be a few people that misuse the privilege and tool of money. So we feel money is evil all around. There's much more wonderful people that use it for very good things. Yeah. In my experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my experience, I mean, I personally know a billionaire who does amazing work and has served so many people. I know several millionaires that have served and are always looking for ways. And don't ask me for a list of them because these people are guided enough that they know where to sow their seeds. They know where God would have them to be a blessing. I remember seeing a video a few months back, I guess, and when all of the pandemic and everything was surfacing, and everybody had an opinion and still do. But Tyler Perry came on, and it popped up in my news feed. And some people, you don't even think about being on Facebook. But anyway, Tyler Perry, it popped up in my news feed, and apparently there had been a video in circulation or a post in circulation stating that Tyler Perry was giving away cars or something. So he came out with his own video and to let people know, hey, that is not my post. My people continue to have to pull these things down. He said, yes, I do give away cars, but I don't do it that way. So there are people who do good things and are doing good work. And if you're one of those people and you feel that you don't deserve money, and for us to be talking about money, it offends you, then, that's you have to learn that this is not to offend you. You don't have to learn anything. You really don't. But this is not set to offend you, but this is set to help you. Regina mentioned something that it was, God gives each of us gifts and talents, and those gifts and talents are to be used, because when you stand before God, and you will one day, my friend, you will, regardless of who you are and where you come from, rich or poor, black or white, regardless, you will stand before God one day to give an account of your stewardship. What did God entrust you with, and what did you do with it? Did you sit on it like the person with the talent in the Bible? Remember, Sonya, I know, Regina, you all have heard the story. Didn't do anything with it, but said, oh no, I'm just going to hold on to mine. I'm just going to hold on to it. You know what? Holding on never blessed anybody. It is when we let go that God can do something with it. I live in a very rural area. I live in the country, and in the country, you see country stuff. I have forgotten how much country stuff is in the country, but you see a lot of country stuff, bugs and snakes, you see stuff, real stuff. And so I noticed the farmers, that's what attracted me so much. Just in my heart, I thought, my God, I forgot about the farmland. And I see these farmers, and they have this equipment, and they go out and they sow this seed. And they sow with expectation. They're not sowing thinking, well, I hope something grows. But they have proven that when they put the seed in that soil at a certain time, that at a certain season, and we're in that season right now, by the way, that is called harvest time. And in harvest time, they need extra workers out there in the field, and they go and they have this other equipment, and they gather in this harvest, because there's a law of sowing and there's a law of reaping, and they both work together because that's what God established. It is a law of sowing and reaping. It is not something, maybe it works, no, honey, it works. And whether you're sowing good or you're sowing evil, is a law. Seed time and harvest, the Bible said, will not cease. It never will cease. Yes. So when you have gifts and God has blessed you, just know that he wants you to do good with those gifts. And I had to learn over the years, and I know there are so many people who can attest to this. I have to learn over the years, your talents and gifts are worthy. They're worthy. The laborer is worthy of his hire. So as a consultant, as an empowerment coach, I'm worthy to be hired. And what does being hired mean? You get paid. You get paid. It's okay to be paid for your talents and for your gifts. Listen, ladies, people don't have a problem when it's someone on the red carpet with their talent, right? Yes. Someone at the Grammys or the Emmys or whatever, and they have exercised their talents and they get compensated. Oh, this person is worth $10 million because they created this music industry. Well, we here are all creating, and we're coaches and authors right here in this room. So we're creators because we're co-creators with God. And whenever you're working with God, God, things happen. It just does. God, things happen when you're working with God. And so that byproduct is wealth. That product, it doesn't mean that everyone will be a millionaire, but I promise you, it does mean that your barrel of meal will not run empty. It does
Yes.
No. Go ahead.
I like what you said. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Money is a byproduct, right? We focus so much on money. If we focus on service, money just happens. It's just how life is. Money is a byproduct. There is no like money. It's not a standalone item. You can't just go and get money. It's really a byproduct of things. But I think we are so afraid to be judged for it. We don't allow ourselves to grow. And number two, we don't have enough boundaries in our life, meaning people feel, because we've opened the door for them, that they have the right to facilitate how we use our money. They have the right to the opinion of how we use their money. And I hope this makes sense to everybody watching now or later, because I feel like if I work my butt off and sleepless nights and all the things I do, I personally have massive boundaries around when people can say to me about the things I do or how I use my money, because the keyword is my money.
Right.
That's the keyword here. So you're right. It's a byproduct, but it does begin at the mindset. I have a client I'm working with one-on-one right now, and she said, I'm worried of making a lot of money because my family will either judge me for it or they're going to want some of it. I said, I said, tell me about your family. Do they work? Do they not want to work? Do they just want stuff? Like what? I don't know what the deal is. So after we talked about it, I said, with everything you've explained, you have the full right to say no. You're not responsible for grown people who don't want to do the work. You can't say no. If this is a one-time, obviously we've all been down, everybody needs help. But if it's a constant and then you're the bad guy for making it and not sharing it, you can be the bad guy. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, be a bad happy guy.
Because here's at the end of the day, people that really understand how money is made, and that a substantial amount is not easily to come by, like we work for it,
right?
They will respect you for the boundaries. They will respect you for how hard you work, and they will respect you for saying no when you don't want to just waste it away. They will respect it, and other people won't. And I said, you have to be okay with all of it. It's your life. You have to be okay with all of it.
I love what love what you just shared there, Regina. I love this whole conversation because there's so many like points there. I really fell into the trap of being on social media over the past few years and taking on unconsciously other people's lack stories around money, right? Taking them on, because when you're scrolling and you're going through and you're just like reading all these words and these images, and it's all just like getting into your mind and it's going somewhere. And so without realizing, I took on other people's negative stories around money when I was in a really, really good place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, around my well-being, around money. And I fell into that trap. Of like, here's an example. Okay, so a couple of years ago, I went to Santorini on holiday. Absolutely beautiful part of the world. I went on my own, as I usually do for some of these holidays, and I just had such an amazing time. At the time, I was working with a one-to-one client, and I had quite a few, but she was the one that projected and said that she did not like the fact that I was using her money to be on holiday. Right? So
she's your client and she's complaining about your being on vacation.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
Interesting.
And it got me. This is the thing. Like, I was in a really great place and it just triggered something in me because I was like, oh my gosh, and so I was like, okay, what can I really not enjoy myself? Can I really not use my money to go have a good time and build a good life for myself, my future family, and to do good as God wants me to do? And I really sat with that. And I didn't realize until halfway down the line, it crept in. And then I started to do the work, and I was like, well, where is this pattern coming from, and why did I feel the need to justify how I'm choosing to live my life and how I'm not? And where it also got stuck, because like abundance is what I teach is self-worth and abundance, and where I got stuck is I started to grip the abundance of me.
Yeah.
Right? I started to grip, I started to hide and didn't like, or just show it a little bit here and there. Like, hi everyone, and then like, okay, I'm gonna go retreat. Hi everyone, and I'm gonna go retreat. And then the other value that I have, which I've kind of been sitting with for many years, is that I'm very private as a person, even though I share my heart and soul. And I'm happy to do that, especially when it's guided by God. It's like these stories and my history and our history is not for us to keep to ourselves. But I started to really hide myself and try to figure out what can I share, what can't I share, and it's just got me into a tiz. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that just shine and let yourself be out there. When your intentions are really good, you're only going to do good, and not other people are going to complain and they're going to project their stuff, and it's because they have stuff to work on. And if you are triggering them, it's good, but don't fall into that trigger for yourself. Do you know?
Your success is making them uncomfortable.
And it happens. We've all got haters. We've got people that don't like us, and I'm always losing people, but they usually come back.
You don't get unfriended, do you, Leila? Do people really unfriend you?
They do. And then I go on to see if they're around, and I'm like, what? They unfriended me? Since when? Why? And how? It's okay. They come back usually.
Leila made a great point, right? So somebody would, because she doesn't feel that she can spend her money a certain way. She felt that you are not entitled to spend your money. They still thought it's their money, but it's not.
No.
It's nature for a service, right? I've had people tell me that my service is too expensive and perhaps I should charge less. And very politely, I tell them that perhaps there is a better mentor for them. But if I've invested 18 years of my life into learning what I know, it comes with a sticker price. I'm not ashamed of it, right? But people won't even judge that. So people would. I'm blown away, but with what the customer said to Leila. But we do have that mentality around money. Even when they spend it, it's still their money. They feel like they follow the money, like they're responsible to facilitate how it's. That's exactly what I said. People feel that it's okay to tell you how to use your money. That was exactly it, right? But at the point that they paid it, like you got to disconnect. Like it's not yours anymore.
Exactly. And the same way even with giving. It's the same way. Once it leaves your hand, it just left your life. Except for that it will come back in some other form, in a harvest form that you really need. God works it just that way. Whether you are regardless of what it is that you have extended out, and in exchange, there's a great exchange always going on. God operates in the exchange of things, from the very beginning. He did that. He created the garden and he said, whoops, there's no man to till the ground. I said, whoops, like there was an afterthought, but God knew that there was no man to till the ground. So he put man in there because he wanted someone in there to be the recipient of the harvest that God had already created. And then he told man, he said, whatever you call a thing, that's what it is. You have authority. You have domination. This is your kingdom in this garden to do with it whatever you will to do it. And of course, man didn't make the right choice at that time. But we've been redeemed through the last Adam. So now we have that same position that this is ours. What are you going to do with what God has put in your hand? What has he empowered you to do? Back to the gift, back to the talents. What has he empowered you with? How long are you going to be halted between two opinions? You're going to go that way from 8 to 5, but in your heart of hearts, there's something bigger than an 8 to 5 over there. And don't fool yourself. Don't you dare fool yourself. You think because you start a business, it's going to be easy. No, every one of us can tell you right now, you are so wrong. 8 to 5 does not exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It is life begets life begets life. You do what you got to do. You stay up all night. You work through the weekend. Your friends go out to the beach and climb mountains. And you're busy doing what God has called you to do. And guess what? When you find what you love to do, you'll never work another day in your life.
Agree.
You will be living to the full, to the overflow. I had a thought as Regina was talking. I had many thoughts, and just listening to you ladies, you just so blessed me. But people put so little value on spending time with talents, spending time with gifts, spending time with experience. Regina mentioned 18 years of experience, 20 years experience in the room, 30 years of experience is in this room to tell you that you can do and to give you gifts, to help you to, what a coach really shows you the gifts that are within you and helps you to bring those out. That's what a true coach will do, help you to bring out the best of the best that's resident on the inside of you. And so if she put a price tag or I put a price tag of $30,000, people will go, we're not talking about giving you a fish here. We're teaching you how to fish.
That's right. I have to do something here. I'm so sorry, Sonya. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, as you ladies know, and especially in group coaching, that we talk about like mindset, right? Like I'm writing a mindset course that we're finishing up. And a lot of them feel like, am I worthy to charge this price? Just like the example I just gave. And I said, you have to be crystal clear. If people buy into your program, coaching or group program for 30 days, let's say, for example, you're not teaching them how to do a thing for 30 days.
Right.
You're teaching them how to make money for the rest of their lives. That costs money.
Yes.
If I work with somebody for 30 days, I'm teaching them to hunt and be able to make money.
I love it.
Right? For the rest
for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
But it's correct. If I can tweak your mindset in 30 days, that's going to impact your financially and make you profitable emotionally, spiritually, financially within 30-day window, and something sticks for the rest of your life. So people are so focused on, I'm only working with them for 30 days. No, you're not. If you're really good at what you do, your 30 days will stretch into your lifetime. Exactly. So be aware of what you're charging. It's the long-term impact. It's not the short-term interaction. It's the long-term impact.
Yeah. You know what? Education costs. I don't care. Education costs on every level. You're going to pay. Listen, Leila, I do want to hear you, but you are going to pay for education somewhere. Now, you either pay for an education that will help you build a life, or you're going to pay for an education that could cost you your life.
So good. So earlier on, when I was in town in Edinburgh, I wanted to go left, and God guided me to go right. As I was walking down the street, this beautiful street in Edinburgh, I got the nudge to go into one of the shops that I wanted to walk into further down. One of my clients was in there, right? One of my former clients, and she was sat there, and we had this amazing conversation. So we worked together last year for about 9 months. And she said to me today, she was like, oh, she said to me, she's realized over the past few months that the things that we were working on with regards to prosperity and abundance didn't always make sense to her last year. But she said to me, over the past few months, she's understood and she's realized what we were working on, because now it's helping us make shifts around her money world and around what she wants to do, because she's working in a job that she really doesn't want to do, and she wants to become a doula and do amazing things with mothers and babies. And I was just like, yes, I always say to you guys that the lesson, with coaching, with anything, one lesson, one aha moment can be everything, isn't it? It can be that, oh, that's the thing I was missing, or that's the thing that I needed to know. And that can just open a gateway, exactly as Regina was saying as well. It can open it up for you for such a big picture. Yeah. And the other thing is as well, money, take it off the pedestal. Money is not so high and so beyond and so out that you can't have it. Take it off the pedestal. Money is money. It's exactly as Regina and Dr. Faye and Sonya were saying. It's a byproduct of the value that you provide, right? So allow it to be within the value that you provide. Take it off the pedestal. It's not a big deal. Just like with true love and manifesting your dreams and the dream house and the dream car and, you know, whatever it is, whatever the dream is that you think is out of reach, reach closer, take it off the pedestal. It's yours. It is done. God's gifted it to you. Do the work to be in alignment and allow it to manifest.
Absolutely wonderful, because the kingdom of God is within reach. That's what Jesus came. He came to show us the kingdom, and it's within reach. And we have been programmed to believe that it's not within our reach. But every day, everywhere around us, it is always within reach. Folks, there is so much value in this show, just this show, to let you know that money is just that. It's money. And it is within reach. Don't let it frighten you. Don't let it intimidate you to the point that you feel that it's for some people, but it's not for you, because you think that you don't deserve it, or you've been fed so many lies over the years. And I know Sonya can speak to this. So many lies over the years about your ability. And if you can't do, if that you've got stories that you've been told, or belief systems that that's been passed on to you, like you got to work hard for money. No, you shouldn't be working hard for money. Money should be working hard for you. You've got to turn these things around on the inside. The work has to be done in the house. And when this work is done, let me tell you, Deuteronomy 28 will be activated in your life. If you don't know what that says, go back and read it. That these blessings will come upon you and overtake you.
Yes.
That opportunities will begin to knock on your door for real, for real. You'll have to tell some people no, because it will be just so much that you can do. Don't be afraid of wealth. Don't be afraid of living the full life that Jesus so willingly died on the cross to give you. Salvation itself is a wholeness word. It means literally nothing is missing and nothing is broken. That includes no broke bank account, no broke you. You deserve to have everything that Jesus came to this earth to give you. So don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Leila, thank you for bringing that out, that you were at this place and you would move and then you would retreat. You would go and then you would retreat, because fear can grasp your heart and make you think, well, what if I fail? Well, what if you do? You get up and you keep on going. And I mentioned last night in Bible class that mistake is a misstep. Step. And if you miss a step, get back in step and keep going. And maybe you're feeling the pull because of what's going on in the world, that maybe you didn't get to go back to work. Maybe it just didn't happen for you yet. The unemployment has ran out. You know what you have? You have an opportunity to learn how to fish. Yep. And take this opportunity. Look at the time you have to learn and to grow, to attend any of our calls and workshops, and to get any of us to coach you in whatever area you think you need coaching in. I mean, these ladies are wonderful. I will put them up anywhere. I don't even listen. They know their stuff, and they can help you move past wherever you're stuck. I can say that because I know them. Okay? Sonya, please take the mic.
Well, I was thinking too, when we're talking about, it's just so much. I'm taking notes at the same time, you guys. I'm like, this is good stuff. And it says in the word that your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that, like, you don't have to strive and struggle. And Dr. Faye, just what you're saying, if you mistake, if you miss a step, get up, keep going. We are going to fall down. It's a process. It's part of life. But in that, we grow. Together, we grow with one another. And I'm just like, soaking up all the goodness right now, all the good nuggets, because this is what it's about. Relationships and growing. And yes, each one of us are worthy because God calls us worthy. So whatever he's put in you, we are more than deserving to reap the benefits of that. You know, we're bringing value each and every day. And it's like, wake up. When you feel down, even myself, I'm like listening to you all going, oh my gosh, get up, get out and do what you've been called to do and reap the harvests now. It's not tomorrow. It's not later. It's not in a year. It is now. But it really is our responsibility to get up and reap that harvest. Nobody's going to do it for us. Nobody's going to pick Sonya up and say, hey, you know what? Do that follow-up because somebody is waiting for us. You know, and it just puts things in perspective. I think that's the greatest thing a lot of times is we lose perspective. It may have looked one way last month or the month before, but today is another day. This is a new month. It's what we're going to do in this time we've been giving to make a difference in the lives of others and yourself. First of all, wake up, do something with what we've been given to do. And it's just, oh my, bountiful blessings are here right now. Right now.
Yeah. This is harvest season in the natural and it's harvest season in the spirit world. Yes. And these two worlds have aligned. I'm telling you, folks. Woohoo! I'm telling you, get a hold of this now and begin to find your fishing hole, right? Find the place where your fish are, because when you find your fishing hole, and I have friends who go fishing, who love to fish. And down in the country, there's a lot of fishing holes. And people are so protective of their fishing place. And if they find a place where the fish are really biting, I said, where did you catch all those fish? Oh, I can't tell you that. I can't give away my fishing hole. You see how precious it is to know how to fish? It is so valuable. And it's so valuable to know where you need to fish. These ladies know where they need to fish. I know where I need to fish every day of my life, 24/7. I know where my fish are, and I go fishing, and I go to tell people what Jesus has said. This is the place. And don't be afraid of the blessings that will come your way or intimidated by the voices in your head. Those are voices in your head. They can't hurt you unless you allow them to hurt you. You got to get this. You got to silence this inner critic. You've got to get this thing quiet enough through meditation, like Leila teaches, through prayer, through time in the Word of God, through time alone. Leila's getting ready to spend some time away doing some stuff, and she's going to tell us what money is going to do. And I know we all have our own missions. We love missions here, folks. And I know that you have places and people that you want to bless. And it's not just about your for and no more. It's about doing good in the world. Before Leila tells her story, she was sharing this with us earlier. And you guys are going to love this. It's an adventure story. She's going to share it with us in advance of the adventure. But in 19, Jesus was speaking, and he told the people, if you want to be perfect, go and sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Those of you who are intimidated by selling anything, you go and buy stuff all the time. Those people who sell to you, Walmart and the car dealership, and these people don't care. I'm not intimidated by taking, selling to you, giving you something in exchange for your money. Coaching is something in exchange for your money because it offers you value that can last you a lifetime. It gives you the fishing hole. Isn't that good, girls? It gives you the fishing hole. So don't be intimidated by it. It's just your time to learn how to fish and find your fishing hole. Right? So those of you who are intimidated by selling, Jesus told the rich young ruler, you go sell, so that you can have something to give to the poor. It's okay to sell. It's okay to receive. And it's okay to have missions. He said all of that in just a couple of sentences. We have a few more minutes, ladies. What do you have?
I think the biggest thing is, I hope, if people take anything away from the episode, is that, stop being mad at people when they talk to you about money and have opinions. It's all really inner work. It's all inner work. The longer we look outside of us, the longer it's going to take for you to get where you need to be. That's just the fact. And, Money is a great thing. If you use it correctly, you're allowed to charge what you're due. You're allowed to facilitate it however you want. Obviously, we're talking about good and proper use of money as a good tool to help others, to have a good life for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But the biggest thing is, like anything else in life, like DrFaye, you call it home. It starts at home. It starts in here. It's all you. Don't be mad at people when they have an opinion, all that. It just means you're lacking boundaries if people feel that they have the right to say anything they want to you. Guard yourself. Guard yourself in whatever areas you need, and there is no shame in serving every day. There is no shame in selling every day. I've never walked into Target and have them tell me, you bought something from us yesterday, we don't want to sell it to you today. It's too much. It's too much. Go away, come back in a week. Like, nobody does that. Plus, if they're not buying from you, they're buying from somebody else.
Yeah.
If they're not buying from you, they're buying from me because I'm selling every day. So you have
I love that. Regina said, if they're not buying from you, they're buying from me.
Well, I sell every day. I know I feel like I'm not shy about it. Yeah. Whatever you need, I'll create it, I'll package it. We'll work out a deal. But you're allowed to have money. Really, that's the bottom line. You're allowed to have it. You don't need anybody's permission, and you have God's permission. That's it. Bottom line. Bottom line.
I think for me as well, it's very much like tied in with the conversation we've been having, is that I sat with this a few days ago before I made that decision, which I'll tell you guys about in a moment. And I sat with this, and it felt so beautiful. I can't afford to no longer be my best self.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You cannot afford to not be the best version that God created you as. Like, literally, when we look at humanity and we look at the world and we look at where we're at, none of us can afford to play small. None of us can afford, in terms of our abundance, our characters, our wealth, our riches within, we can't afford to hide that. We can't afford to keep it dimmed down, because the humanity that we're moving into, the new earth we're moving into, is going to require us to work together as community, right? Together as one. And the preparation time is now. The leap time is now. And so I sat with this. Should I share it? I sat with this. Yeah, I sat with this a few days ago, and I just thought, you know what? Enough is enough. Done the old patterns and so on. And this incredible opportunity came up to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa with a charity called Human Appeal. So we started training. I started training yesterday, and we go in February, and we're raising money for Yemen in particular. From what I've read, and I'm going to be getting into more of the details over time, but Yemen is literally on the verge of extinction. A whole country is on the verge of extinction because of famine. And I mean, I money management and corruption, literally people are dying, children are dying, bones, skin and bones. There is no life to them. Then it's just heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And this was actually one of the issues that came up for me over the past few months. We've had so many social issues coming up for us, in the news and social media and so on. And I cried, and I watched these pictures, I looked at these pictures, and I could not keep it in. I felt really powerless. And I said to God, I was like, help me, show me how I can help these people in some way, shape or form. And one of the prayers, I think I shared this on the previous show, I've been sitting with the prayer of asking God to help me align my actions and thoughts with Source. Mm-hmm. And that was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I set that intention through meditation, and everything has just been falling into place. And this incredible opportunity to raise awareness and to do something which for me is like a line under the 40 years that I've lived so far, and a fresh start for the next 40 years, inshallah, hopefully, once we do this. So there's a lot there, but it's an incredible opportunity, which I appreciate you letting me share on the show today.
Thank you for sharing that. That is so powerful. Sonya?
Well, the only thing I had to add, like I was saying before, is that I just think that now is the time. We have so much power within us, whether it's women, whether it's men. And it's just time to release that what is in you. Those gifts and talents were created for you. They're for others. And that is the part of giving, a seed time and harvest. That is even seed time and harvest, giving what you have, and be a reservoir. Don't withhold anything from anyone, because actually you're withholding it from yourself. All that God has for you.
That's right. You. Free it up. Let there be a flow. Get in the flow, folks. Get in the flow. Yes. Leila, we're so proud of you for taking on this challenge. And our prayers will be with you as you climb the mountain. And I know that you'll do well. And this is an example of what time and money can do. God has graced you with the ability to do it, as well as the finances to do it, and friends who will pray for you while you're doing it. And it's a good cause. An entire country becoming extinct due to famine. Money can change that. I don't care what nobody says. Yeah. Money can change that. When you see children who are starving to death, money can change that.
That's right.
Yeah, we pray, but then we put money with our prayer. Money becomes our legs to go places that we cannot go. Do things that we can only dream of doing. Money can make that happen. Don't tell me that it can't. And I don't care who gets mad at money or mad about me with money or coaching or whatever. I know the value. Thank you. Thank you, Tawhid. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you so much. Money answers for all things. I'm so glad you joined us today. Thank you for another awesome conversation. I think about our conversation so often. We've been doing this for a while, and I thought, wow, it just gets better and better. It really does. And God gives us some on-point topics that can revolutionize people's lives. And I want to thank all of you folks for listening and sharing it with your social media friends. And if you're watching us on one of our smart television apps, we so appreciate that. And you'll have the information in the credits as to how to get in touch with us. God bless you. And we pray that you will have an amazing day. Ladies, let's say bye.
Bye.
Watching Lighten Up. It's time to talk. And we'll see you next time.
See you next week.